across the northeast on 101.2 FM, Aberdeen City and the Shire on digital, and across the UK at wavesfm.com. This is Waves Radio.
You got some Jesus, he's the only way.
And that was just for Christians of all ages, especially for the bairns, of course. Now I'm delighted to welcome on board this evening my guest Kath Wyllie, who together with her husband Duncan are the main pastors of the Kyron Christian Outreach Centre, which has just opened a brand new building. And we're going to hear all about it from Kath. She's going to share that with us this evening. But first of all, I'm going to invite her to say hello to her flock from the Kyron Christian Outreach Centre and all the Christians in Peterhead. Go ahead, Kath, please.
Hello, it's really wonderful to be here and just say hello to especially my little boy Fraser, who'll be listening to all the people at Kairos Christian Outreach Centre and all the other people in the town of Peterhead that love Jesus. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm sure we'll have a great time.
That's fine. Thank you very much, Kath. Now, how long has the Kairos Christian been active in Peterhead?
Well, we've been working with Christian Outreach Centre, who are a large family of churches all over the world. There's thousands of them all over the world. And we've actually been with Christian Outreach Centre now for almost 4 years. We previously met down at a venue down in Merchant Street, and we've just, as you say, just moved up this last week to our new facility.
So you've had two meetings, but they were kind of, well, you had to have the meetings there because you were all ready. But your actual opening meeting, a special opening service, will be taking place this next Sunday afternoon, I understand.
That's correct, yes. We've just had 2 weeks to get over any little teething problems, and everything's gone really well. There's been no big hitches at all, and we're having an official opening with the president of our movement, an Australian gentleman who's going to be with us next Sunday at 2:30 for an official opening.
That's great. So that's right up here, folks, right exactly adjacent to Waves Radio up here at Blackhouse Industrial Estate. Now, there's a fine big car park. And there's also a lot of parking around the area. And we want to see the whole thing filled next Sunday afternoon at 2:30. Come along to the Kairos Christian Outreach Centre. You're going to hear much more about it as we go along today. But right now, we're going to move on with some more gospel music. And Kath will be back again just in a wee while. But in the meantime, we will be talking to Jason Spriggs, who's very much involved with the music ministry within the Kairos Centre. So he'll tell us more about that just in a little while. Stay tuned. Well, folks, I'm delighted to welcome on board as another guest this evening, Jason Spriggs of the Kairos Christian Outreach Centre. Jason is involved with the music ministry largely of the gathering, and he plays several instruments indeed, and he's also involved in the ministry there. But he's going to talk to me at the moment about the music. What kind of music do you have there, Jason? Tell us.
Well, we're based on a 5-piece band, guitars, drums, keyboards, etc. To try and label our music, it's just, I would say, modern praise and worship, really.
That's great. And have you singers as well up there leading the praise?
I do, yeah. At any given time, we'd have an additional 2 backing vocalists from a possible 3.
Mm-hmm. That's just great. So it's really quite modern kind of music, and you've got backing singers. So it's really people coming along and joining in. Is everything up the screen? Do people get the words in front of them?
It is, yeah. We use projectors. The words will be up there. We sing stuff from Tim Hughes, Chris Tomlin, modern worship leaders like that.
That's great. But folk will be quite happy and content there. They'll be able to see the words, and you'll lead the music and the worship.
Oh, yes.
So there you go, folks. You and about a kilt at all. You'll just really enjoy it. Now, I have had a wee look inside. I did that last week, as you well know. I don't know if you saw me there, but Kath certainly did. And folks, it's really very, very well set up. They've got a beautiful auditorium. It's really great, and there's several other rooms we're going to hear all about in just a wee while as well. But Jason here, he's really involved with the music. Now, what particular type of music do you like, Jason?
I like a wide range of music, really. My favourite music would, as long as there's passion involved in it. I love music that's passionate, music that has a lot of life about it. It doesn't always have to be loud and fast to be that, but as long as there's heartfelt meaning in what I'm listening to, then I'm happy.
And you can make out the words.
Oh, yes.
That's a must.
That helps.
That's something we do here on the gospel show, make sure that the words are clear and get across to people indeed. Do you have any of the youngsters involved with this?
We do. I would say 2 of the band or three of the band actually, I would put in the category of being young. The rest of us not so. And also there is some more the church youngsters, up-and-coming musicians. You know, I've been working with them from time to time.
So you're training up the new generation?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Whilst you're doing that, of course, you'll be leading up the music when you also are involved in the ministry, as Kath indicated
That's
for
right.
us. Right. No, that's certainly good, and I'm sure you really enjoy the sound there. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm going to come along. I don't know if I'm going to manage this next week or not. I certainly am going to really try to get along this next Sunday afternoon, and we'll be listening to you there. So folks, get along next Sunday afternoon, 2:30, the Kairos Christian Outreach Centre, brand new place. Really, I tell you, I was extremely impressed by it. You'll just love it. Get along, give them support, and give them encouragement as they're starting this new ministry, carrying it forward in a new building right next door to Waves Radio at Blackhouse Industrial Estate. Jason, I've listened to your voice there. You're not Peter Reid, are you?
No, London originally. I've been here since I was 3 years old, so that's 31 years. That's no secret.
Ah, well, you're for the blue tune in that time. I would say you're an adopted son.
Thank you.
And you enjoy Peterhead?
I do.
Ah,
very
that's
much.
lovely. Okay, you'll be back to share more with us just in a little while. Meantime, folks, here's some more good news, Christian music. Again, I'll say we're delighted to have on board as our guest this evening Kath Wyllie from the Kairos Christian Outreach Centre. Now, before I ask you anything else, I'm going to ask you about the young folk and the children. But before I do that, Kath, tell us a little bit more about Kairos. What does Kairos mean?
Kairos actually means God's appointed time or God's moment of opportunity. And we really felt that was the word that we wanted to use to call our church. And Christian Outreach Centre, or we're known as COC just for short, is like a very large family of churches all over the world. But Kairos is the Greek word meaning time, God's moment of opportunity.
So you're thinking certainly in a certain way, perhaps about the latter times, yeah?
Yes, absolutely. And we believe that, timing is really important. There's Chronos time, which is man's time, but then there's God's time. We believe it's a time that Christians really need to take a stand. We really need to make a difference. We have to really maximise the time that we have here on this earth. So we really felt it was apt for us to be called Kairos Christian Outreach Centre.
So all the Christian Outreach Centres are not called Kairos, is that what you're saying?
No, they're not. Most of them are maybe just called Christian Outreach Centre, or some of them have other names and are just under the family of the Christian Outreach Centre family of churches.
See, and the Christian Outreach Centre, as you're telling me, and I was unaware of this, is quite widespread throughout the world.
All over the world there are thousands and thousands of churches. They're very much a pioneering movement, and their aim is to plant more churches and reach more and more people for Jesus. So every other week they're planting churches out in the Middle East, out in areas where no one else really even wants to go. It started in Australia originally, and it's grown incredibly, and very much so in Europe over these past few years. Also in the UK recently as well.
That's great, because I am aware there's been quite a strong Christian movement in Australia. Of course, the Hillsong Singers, they've really, well, a lot of folk can identify with them coming from Australia. They've been quite big. In fact, one of their gospel songs made it into the top 10, or even the top of the top 10, out in Australasia.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
3 years ago, I think. That's
Absolutely.
great. So the Christian Outreach Centre that movement began in Australia.
Yes, it did.
That's good. You've educated me, and I hope we've educated a lot of people listening tonight. Okay, folks, we're getting that coming across. Now, let me ask you what I was going to ask to begin with, about the children and the youth work. Do you have special meetings for them, or facilities, or events, or whatever?
Yes, we do. We believe that children are very, very important. We don't just believe that, they're the next generation. We believe that they're a generation now, and that God would desire to use our children and really move through our children. So we've invested quite a lot into our children's ministry. We have a creche facility that we call Superstars, because we believe that they really are superstars. That caters for children up to the age of 5. And then once they turn 5, they move to our Superheroes ministry, and we see every little boy and girl as a superhero, because we see the incredible potential that lies within each one of them. Once they reach the age of 18, then they move on to our youth ministry, which we're in the process of just restructuring just now. It's called XY Youth, meaning extreme youth, because we want our young people from the superstars age through superheroes onto XY youth, to be extreme for Jesus and to make a strong stand to live for him. You know, we feel it's really necessary, and we have good facilities at our new venue to cater for these age groups.